Hello, welcome to midterms week. So midterm means you're like halfway through the term, so congratulate you guys. Congratulate yourself, I should say, because halfway there, that's pretty great. A couple of housekeeping things before we get moving. I was contacted by a couple of you who had missing assignments and asked if we could redo it. Absolutely. Yes. Just turn them into me, email. I know our syllabus is very strict about late penalties as far as grades and stuff like that, but we also have to be like the humanistic side of this because, you know, you've got a million things going on throughout your day, especially you athletes. And I understand. I completely understand. So one thing you have to remember about this class is that even though I am the instructor, I'm not the creator of this class. So I did not create a lot of the things in the content that are going into this class because I am going strictly under what DSU guidelines are. But I think if you email me, we can work something out. I completely understand. So please, if you are one of those people who did not reach out to me and do have late assignments or missing assignments, let's chat. We'll figure something out. Because the idea of this class is to expose you to lots of new children's books, different thinking, different classroom ideas. It's not about deadlines as much because, well, we have to have deadlines, otherwise all this stuff would pile up and you would never get it done, which would be rough. But, you know, deadlines are more for keeping us on track so we can keep things moving at a pace where it's you can handle it. But if ever is a time you're getting behind on that, you know, if you think of yourself on a treadmill and all of a sudden you're like way at the back trying to struggle to get up, just ask for help. We can totally work something out. Okay, so a few of you, and I think that I love it, that when you said you did not like our book, The Birch Bark House, I totally agree. But some parts about that book are so classic because they are true to self, like true to the culture, true to the people. But there wasn't a lot of action in that one. You know, if you're going to like really dig in deep and like read that book to a class, it does have some great aspects to it, but there's not a lot of like adventure that I felt. I mean, one of you said, I was expecting the you know, brother to die from smallpox. I'm like, of course, because we just had 2 twists in the last 2 books we had. We were expecting this again. I have to tell you that I think there's a better book out there to teach Native American background and culture with, and it's this one here. It's called Nyanuki. It's kind of a funky name, and you can get it at thrift books for like $4.99. It's pretty cheap. This is the best book that I have ever read to 3rd graders. Well, in fact, I didn't actually read it to them. We had an audio book, and the narrator was fantastic. So it's historical fiction. It's not 100% true, but the idea is that this is Sakakowia's sister and how she ran into all these adventures trying to save her sister from the white man who came and took her. So it was kind of interesting to see the different dynamics of the sisters and her adventure on her own. And she was in captivity for a while, and then she ran away to help her sister. It's just a really great book. And I know when we listened to it on audio when I was teaching 3rd and 4th grade, we'd only do like a chapter a day. And even myself, I was like at the end of it, I was like, oh, come on, just one more chapter. We got to find out what happens. And I'm the teacher. I could have totally done that, but you know, you got to stick to a schedule, so I didn't. But that's another good one. So if you are not 100% comfortable with the book that we just read last week, there's others out there. There's tons of others out there. This is a good one. Generally, anything that this author, I think his last name is considered Thomasma, so Kenneth Thomasma, is a pretty great book. So I read maybe 7 books that he's written so far, and they all have historical fiction type genre, but based on some facts. So it's kind of fun to read his work. So if you ever run into this book, this is a great one to read, or if you have that in your classroom. So I'll be honest, I have not gone through your assignments yet from this book. It was just supposed to be turned in last week, so hopefully you're... I just read the discussion posts, and like I said, you're kind of all over the board with that. I love it. You don't have to love every book we have in here. Totally fine. I love that you have different opinions. But I have not read the assignments totally yet, so I'll get to that in probably a couple hours this morning. Okay, so hopefully you had a couple chances to read some of the books or listen to some of the books that were linked onto here. Remember, these are all for your annotated bibliography, which is coming up towards the end of the semester. But if you haven't started on that, you should probably do it. because that's a big assignment, and if we can get jumping in on that, even better. Some of you, I had a person ask me an email about, does every part of that reading log need to be filled out? No, it does not. So what that reading log is to do is to keep you on track, and is to keep you organized. So when you do that annotated bibliography, you will know what book was, the author, the illustrator, what medium was being used. And sometimes you don't know. And if you don't know, just put don't know. But some books you're definitely going to know, because a lot of Caldecott Award books are for their artwork. And so then you can kind of categorize those in different sections. So this week is midterms. And so your midterm assignment is under here. I have to tell you, there is a date wrong on here. It is due Sunday, March 7th. But if you open up our Word doc, it did say right in here, it did say February. I did change that. Now, again, I have to remind you that this is the same midterm that everyone else has been using that has taken this class prior to you. And so that's why we had to keep it with consistency. So this one is a little bit pickier about points and, like right in here, they want it double spaced, no single space, you'll be penalized. So just do your best to try and keep in those parameters. At the end over here, there is an extra credit section right here. So if you've seen that and want some extra credit in this class, absolutely go for it. The majority of you are doing great in this class, because I really don't grade a lot on format, if you haven't noticed, because format to me is so personal, and I don't think that format has a lot to do with the content of what we're trying to teach in this class. So most of you have done very, very well. And as far as the discussions go, I'm very happy with those. It's been, sometimes I just want more, because I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know how you're feeling about this. And I know that gets to be a little bit tough to do every single week, especially if it's a book you're not totally into. So I get it. But so my only thing is I just kind of want more. For those of you who sent me videos, fantastic. I kind of love that, and I love seeing your face, and I love seeing how you talk. And sometimes that might be a better choice, or might be an easier choice for some of you to do your discussions with. So anyway, let's go back to here and let's talk discussions. Because we have a midterm this week, there will be no discussion due this week, so you don't need to check in with me, other than if you want to email me about questions, or just let me know how things are going. That's totally fine. But I think you'll have enough work to do with this midterm, and that is due Sunday night. Okay. Next thing. Let's go back to content. Class assignments. Now the next one we have coming up, let's go back to assignments. The next one we have coming up after the midterm is going to be a diverse picture book evaluation. Okay, and so when we talk about diverse, we just mean that it can't be mainstream middle class white society. So like the books that I shared with you last week about the Native Americans would be a great one. The ones that we posted earlier about the typing, the kid who is typing, that would be a good one. I'll put several links to different picture books on here, and you can decide if those are what you want to use, or if you have something different that you want to use. One of the best diverse picture books that I've ever read to my third graders when I was teaching third grade, it was Ruby Bridges. And it's about a little girl, true story, but she was not allowed to go to school in a white school because she was black. And then her parents said she had to because there was a law changed. And so she was the very first black child to walk into a white school. And it was how she was in there by herself, because the white kids didn't come. Their parents kept them home. That was probably one of the best ones I've ever read. I'll put a link to it in here so you'll know which one I'm talking about. But there's some pretty great ones in here. So I would say, if you have some extra time this week, or instead of doing the discussion, you can maybe think about the diverse picture book that we're going to be presenting. So for that one, we need a brief summary of the book, the perspective of who the book is written from, information regarding the author, the time period, those kind of things, reflection. And I would really like you if you start practicing reading those books to other people, because reading books to children is one of those skills that it's almost things you have to practice until you get it better. You just can't like read about it and jump in and give it a try. You'd think like, how hard could it be? It's only like a children's book. I had a hard time like making that switch of reading to myself than reading to kids, because they can't see the picture and how am I holding it, and am I talking too fast? Am I reading too fast? If you haven't noticed, I do have an issue with that. Sometimes I start talking and off it goes. So anyway, the idea is that this is not due until I believe it's March 8th. Yeah. Nope, not March 8th. It's due the week. So it's going to be assigned on March 8th, and you have the end of that week to finish it. And it's right before spring break. So if you want to get this started now and have a little bit of time next week, that's totally fine. If you want to focus most of your time on the midterm this week, that's completely fine as well. But there will be no discussion this week. So for this week, don't worry about discussions. Just worry about your midterm exam, and then keep an eye out for those diverse picture books. Okay, so I feel like just, the couple minutes I'm chatting to you every Monday isn't enough. I just really wish we would be able to see each other and hang out more and, really get to dig into some great books. So hopefully you're looking on your own for some of those, quality books, but I'll put some links on this recording. Okay, so let me know if anybody has any questions. Just email me. Feel free to drop a video in here. Just whatever works best for you, I'm totally flexible with. And again, if you are somebody who did not have an assignment turned in before, just come talk to me. We'll work something out. Okay. Have a great week, guys.